All right, what's up, YouTube? Air Force Recruiter, Sergeant King, back at you. Please subscribe and like if you like this content. In this video, I want to talk about how to get a hold of an Air Force recruiter. I'm going to talk about a handful of options to do so. So in the Air Force recruiting world, one of our most common complaints we get is I can never get a hold of an Air Force recruiter, or how do I find them in my area? So I'm going to explain how to do so in the order that I think is best. So the number one way to get a hold of an Air Force recruiter is to go to airforce.com. When you go to airforce.com, you're going to be able to have a prompt, something like find my local recruiter. They're going to ask you to build a profile. So make sure this information is true, because it's going to go based off of your zip code. So it's going to ask for like address. Make sure you put a good phone number in there, because that's how the recruiter is going to want to get a hold of you. And it's going to drop, that profile you build is going to drop into your local Air Force recruiters program. And like the thing we check every single day. So we're going to be able to see if you're someone who's interested in the Air Force. We're going to have your address and your phone number, so we have multiple ways to get a hold of you. And actually, it is our obligation, according to our regs, to get a hold of you within 5 days. Within 5 working business days, we need to be contacting you and to make sure you're qualified and to see if you're a good fit for the Air Force. So that's number one. That's what I highly recommend, is just going to airforce.com and building a profile, and you should be contacted shortly. The second thing to do is probably the most common thing people do, is you just Google Air Force recruiter near me, and it should be able to populate. We all have Google business accounts now, so it should be able to populate the address of your local Air Force recruiting office, and you can just show up on their doorstep. Now, a lot of us Air Force recruiters, because we are very busy, we like to operate by appointment. So don't feel weird if you get to the office and he's like, hey, I'm already talking to someone right now, or hey, I'm in the middle of a conference call or a meeting. Can you call me later? And it gives you a business card. With that being said, all recruiters should have their the way to contact them posted on the door. So if they're not even in the office, they're at a school visit or a parade, I don't know, they're going to have their name, phone number, email, something listed on the door, and it should say, I'm going to contact you soon, or sorry we missed you, we're going to contact you. One way I like to operate is I like to operate via text, and I think this is becoming super common in the recruiting world. So what I typically do, just for you guys to know about me, is I'll get you my cell phone number, or somebody's provided you my cell phone number, however you got a hold of me, and I'm gonna shoot you a pre-qualification text. And what that text is a series of questions just to make sure that you are qualified, in fact, to get into the Air Force at that time. Or if you're not, I can go ahead and start addressing the things you need to do to get qualified. Or if you're permanently disqualified, it saves the Air Force's time and our time to not set up an appointment. If you're a murderer and you're trying to join the Air Force, I'm gonna know right away based off of the answers to that pre-qual text, and I'm not even gonna set up an appointment with you, because it's not gonna be worth the Air Force's time, if that makes sense. So please respect and be patient with us with setting up an appointment with us. So I talked about airforce.com, and I talked about just Googling the business. The Google business might also have the recruiter's number already attached to it, or you can just show up to the office and find our information on the door. The other one kind of falls into like everything you can think about, honestly. All the social medias. Most of us have a Facebook and an Instagram at least. You should be able to find us with a simple search, like Air Force and then your town's name. So for me, it's like Air Force Recruiter, and I usually pop up for Facebook or Instagram, whichever you're searching. Just follow us, send us a message, and we'll get the ball rolling. Another thing for my high schoolers, you should be able to go to your guidance counselors. Every recruiter, we do go to the high schools, and you should be able to contact the counselor, and they should have a stack of our business cards with them to give you our information. With that being said, if you do that and the recruiter doesn't, and the counselor doesn't have our contact information, please let the recruiter know when you do figure out how to get a hold of them, because we should have, the counselors and us should have a good relationship. Yeah, so there's a list of the ways that I suggest you getting a hold of your local recruiter. The best way is airforce.com, just because it helps us build a profile, and it actually, like I said, according to our regs, we have to contact you. So there's no questions asked whatsoever. There's no gray line about it. You will be contacted. So airforce.com, Google, Facebook, Instagram, all that typical stuff. And I hope that you guys have you are successful with being contacted by your recruiters, and you find them very easy to work with. if you have any questions about the process anymore like that, how else can I get a hold of them? Or maybe you're looking like, you can hit me up and ask me questions on here, like, I live in this area, and can you help me find the recruiter for this area? I've had a hard time, and I'll do my best to get you in contact with that recruiter. Okay. So thank you for your time. Please subscribe and like if you like this content. Put more questions down, and I'll start building some more videos for you guys. Thanks, YouTube. See ya.